Last week on Gleeboot, the show decided Sam, Tina, and Blaine were a trio, but then Sam was being weird about Tina's boobs, and then Blaine caught them, like, as he said, like, doing a slurpathon. And Santana and Rachel continue to be petty, while Kurt has a new band name, One Three Hill, and we can't decide if it's worse or better than Pamela Lansbury. And that's what you missed on Gleeboot.
Gleeboot.
Yeah, the jury's still out on that one. Because now hearing it again, I'm like, oh, that's awful. But last week I was like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe it's great.
Listen, I'm not a pun person, so it's out for me. I just can't get behind it.
I'm gonna say it's better than Pamela Lansbury.
Yeah, it is. Pamela Lansbury is bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Well,
I disagree. I hate puns.
There we go.
So welcome back to Gleeboot, the show where we get drunk and talk about rebooting Glee one episode at a time. I'm Cullen.
Allyssa.
And I'm Hannah.
And we have two very special guests, Emilee and Lauren, the hosts of Gleek Please.
Yay.
Hello.
Welcome. I would like to point out to the listeners, Emilee has One Direction in her background. I'm loving these early 2010s vibes. And then Lauren is wearing a Fondue for Two shirt. They're really bringing it. Loving it.
Listen, this has been up since 2013. I don't think I can physically get it down.
Yeah, it's part of the wall now.
Yeah. If there's probably going to be a big contrast in color if I take it down. So
Lauren, do you also have a One Direction poster behind you?
Oh, this is BTS.
Okay, I couldn't tell. It's like I see it's like multiple people.
Yeah.
It's like maybe it's the same.
Yeah. Now I've seen from your social media presence that you dabble in the world of fan fiction. And I listened to an episode of yours where you were talking about some fics that you love.
Oh, yes, wow. Where did you find that
out? So I think from what I saw is your main, or you do both write a lot of Klain, or what's kind of your main ship? Or as we like to call them on Gleeboot, Blurt.
I like to have, like, we call them OCs, original characters. So I don't really do like alternate universe type of stories, but Emilee does, and she's pretty dang good at it, I think.
I think. Yeah, I write a lot of Klain. Sorry, guys.
not like weird stuff like what a Pavarotti protocol or whatever.
No, we're not going down that road.
Yeah, no, we don't need to. There's no Omega verse, you know. Like.
No, we're not doing that.
I almost went down a black hole of fan fiction last night, and I didn't. So
proud of you.
I feel like okay about that. Like I made a step forward in my life for about 5 minutes. That I just decided to say no to 3 hours of searching for the absolute perfect fan fiction to read.
Yeah,
I'm strictly on Wattpad. She doubles in like AO3. I don't even know anything about what they do over there. Like I know, but I don't dive in. No.
It's better over there, babe.
It is AO3. You know,
that's where I was. Yep, I was about to go down that rabbit hole on AO3, and I did not.
Dangerous place.
Yes,
because we were raised on fanfic.net.
Yes,
but when I started reposting my fanfic. When I started rewriting it, I was like, AO3 is like where I started posting and it got a lot more traction. I post on both. And I just received a comment last night. So I was looking through my old comments. I didn't know that people could put a comment when they bookmarked it. And so I found some bookmark comments, including my favorite, which was, I read all of this and I will take no questions. If you do, I will do crimes.
What was the one that I liked?
It was the Riverdale would make it Disney. The first few chapters are painfully cringe, which I agree with, but still funny in their own way. Like I'm hooked, but also what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I like to think we're like pretty good on there. We just started. We're hosting. Some fandoms have like awards that they give out to the best fanfic writers. So we're doing that.
Cool.
Nice.
We should do it too.
So, I was just on an upcoming podcast called Unhinged Fanfiction Crossovers, where like we write fan fiction like for the episode and read it. And I made book covers on Canva for all our fics. So if you ever want, or if like you want to send a couple of like your favorite fics, and I'll make Canva art and we can post it to Gleeboot and Gleek Please on Instagram as like some kind of cross promotion.
Okay.
All right.
You know, you don't have to, but I just had that idea. So we talked about the fic side, but what is kind of your Glee journey?
For me, I didn't like start out from the beginning, and I didn't really watch it like weekly, but I think once it came like 2017, that's when I really started rewatching the whole thing on Netflix, and then it all went downhill from there.
Yeah. R.I.P. Glee on Netflix.
Okay, kind of weird, but I started in season 4.
Interesting.
That is the hottest take we've heard.
And then you're like, please give me more.
Let me explain. Okay, I was flipping through channels. It was when season 4 was airing. The first episode I ever watched was Sadie Hawkins. So great introduction there.
Okay, that's not a bad episode.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I don't have like terribly strong feelings about it, so it's probably fine.
Cool. If you don't have the context of like Tina and Blaine, it's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great episode. So I was like, I'll watch this whole show. And then I went down the rabbit hole of rewatching in 2020, and I haven't stopped since.
Yeah. Quarantine made us rewatch a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so what kind of was the inspiration behind like starting Gleek Please, and like what's kind of like your angle in the Glodcaster world? Gleecaster.
Oh boy.
So we met through Wattpad, obviously, and I had already thought about doing like a podcast. I was like, maybe I'll do like Twilight. And I was like, no, you haven't read the books, so you don't have that much knowledge. And I'm like, you have a Glee fanfic. Why don't you talk to another kind of big Glee fanfic writer that you know, and then we can start some and then get like the perspective from the fanfic writer side as opposed to just like the watchers. And yeah. So I hit Emilee up and she was like, yeah. So then here we are.
So did you guys know each other before like fanfics?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, we live in 2 different states.
Very cool.
Still got yet to meet.
I'm working on it. Sorry.
That'll be like a Gleek Please like event. Yeah. All right. So did you take the BuzzFeed quizzes?
Yep.
Dad.
Great.
Sure did.
What are your results? Okay, which character are you guys?
I am Mercedes Jones.
As you should be. I got Quinn. I don't
We
know
get
why.
so many Quins.
A lot of people get Quinn.
I feel like those results are rigged or something. Like the quiz is just we get a lot of Quins and a lot of Finns.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that just to rhyme.
But yeah, Mercedes is like a rare result.
Yeah.
I feel special then, yeah.
Our grad school professor got Mercedes, and I'll always remember that.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I texted Brittany. I'm like, it was like weeks later. I was like, just so you know, Scott's a Mercedes.
Yeah.
And so who's your Glee boyfriend?
Mine is Sam Evans.
Nice.
Sister wives, because we're sharing a boyfriend.
Hey,
Well, there's another
me
one.
Too.
So I literally just had this thought the other day. I'm like, so Sharpay and Sam have the same last name.
Mhm.
Is there
Are they
any
cousins?
is there any fic where they're connected in any way that you know
I-
of?
I'm
That's
sure
untapped
it's
potential.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's somewhere.
Yeah. I did see a TikTok edit the other day about them being twins instead of Ryan. Yeah. They just kicked him out. It's okay.
Poor Ryan.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be something. Like imagine like if they were triplets, so you got the 2 theater kids and the one kind of sporty kid. And then you connect him with Troy. I would love to see that. Somebody write it.
Sam and
Right.
Troy. I'm down for that. Yeah.
Actually, yes.
Mhm.
I support this.
All right, writers, you have been given an assignment.
So what are we drinking today? I mean, what's the next segment?
Yes. Cullen and I are sharing rosé that's been in our fridge literally for like 2 months.
Thanks, Netflix.
It's good. Mostly
Nice.
it's pretty though. It's kind of tart.
I just went to the liquor store to help champagne shop for my boyfriend's sister's wedding. And then I ended up getting some rum, and which did not end up making it this drink. It was disgusting. And some ginger beer for a dark and stormy.
Ooh,
And it is so good. I love these.
those are really good.
I have mango wine.
Ooh.
Mhm.
I like that.
It's really good.
And I'm bringing back the margarita.
Oh,
Classic.
Yeah.
love margaritas.
Do they ever cover Wasted Away in Margaritaville on the show?
Mm-mm.
You
I
know,
don't think
Ugh.
so.
that should be a Burton Carroll number in the Gleeboot.
Yeah.
I can see
I
that.
feel like they would be all over that.
It'd be fun to watch. Like it wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this after the episode, but
Yeah, no,
like
this
I
is
will
not making
thoroughly
it the-
enjoy.
It's not an iTunes single hit. It's on the album. You're gonna download it when you download the album, but you're never gonna listen to it. Except you'll put it on for your parents and your grandparents, and they'll be like, "Oh, what a great cover!"
Yeah, there's a genre of band that's like older white men doing Margaritaville. And my least favorite genre of music is when that kind of band covers Christian music. Because I was at a wedding where that was the music of choice.
That was a live band.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Moment of silence. Moment of silence for culture.
Yes.
Okay, so now it's time for Mary Smash Murder. We are doing gay love interests.
Not to be confused with the GBF.
Not to be confused with the GBF. This is the love interest for the GBF.
Okay.
So we have Blaine Anderson, of course, of Gleek.
Right.
We have Fangs Fogarty of Riverdale. And we have, he does not have a last name, Ethan, the gay werewolf twin of Teen Wolf.
Yes.
I don't know the second person though.
Fangs?
Yes.
It's
It's like
pretty.
Fangs. That's
Yes.
his name.
People on
Okay.
Riverdale have insane names. Fangs is like, he's kind of dumb. He's like he's like Kevin's assistant when they're doing the musical, and then he's always forgetting his tea. And then he's like in a gang, but he's kind of a cinnamon roll. And then later he and Kevin have like an open relationship. And he often needs to be rescued. Like whenever someone's in trouble, it's always Fangs. So he's the Daphne.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, Cullen, you go first.
Okay. I mean, I'd marry Blaine. You know, keep him away from any lighthouses and we're good. I'd fuck Fangs because he's hot. And You know, I have no problems with Ethan, the gay werewolf twin. I've seen that actor in real life. He's one of the few celebrities I've seen in LA. I saw him at a screening. I assume it was the gay twin because he was with the man. So, I mean,
I was gonna say, how did you know which one it was?
Yeah, and I think, because he's also in Boys in the Band, another Ryan Murphy production. And he's fine, but I'd murder him.
I mean, you'd try. He's a werewolf.
He's a werewolf, but he's not an alpha.
No.
He's not.
Very true.
No, but he is part of the alpha pack, but then he's not.
But not
alpha.
after the alpha pack alpha gets murdered. Then there is no alpha pack.
Yes.
I gotta rewatch that show. I love that show. I'm gonna marry Blaine. I'm gonna kill this Fangs person, and I'm going to canoodle with Ethan, only because I'm familiar with these two characters. No offense to Fangs. Fangs is a cutie though.
He was in that dance movie with Sabrina Carpenter and Liza Koshy and Jordan Fisher.
Yes, because I'm gonna know what that is, or who any of those people are.
Which character was he?
He was the hot guy that worked at the mattress store.
Oh,
I've never seen this movie, but I've seen clips.
Drew Tanner?
Yeah, Drew Ray Tanner, yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know who you guys were talking about. I've not seen Riverdale or Teen Wolf.
Hey, why do you know his actual name?
Because I followed him because of that movie, because he was fine.
Valid. Yeah, honestly, I just Google these people if I don't know them, and I'm like, I base it purely off of what they look like. I'm so sorry.
You said
so shallow.
Well, I'm glad you chose Teen Wolf this time, because otherwise I would only know one of the three.
You got 2 out of 3.
Yeah, got 2 out of 3 this week.
Whenever we do the polls on the Instagram, the Glee character always wins because we're a Glee fandom, but except for Rachel. Rachel lost.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She came in second. She didn't totally lose, but
that was like if people would marry her, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She came in second still?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was the rogue person who said I would marry her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I stand by that. Anyway, what about you guys?
Let's see. Once again, my answer is the same as Cullen's.
It happens so much.
I know. But also, again, for different reasons. I'm gonna marry Blaine because he seems like the most marryable, but we might have to talk about his use of hair gel. I'm going to canoodle, as Hannah said, with Fangs. Number 1, I like his name. Number 2, I like his face. Number 3, it would be kind of fun to save him if he was in distress.
There you go.
And I'm gonna kill Ethan because he's evil.
Yeah, he's not nice.
They were real evil when they first hopped on the show.
Yeah. Teen Wolf characters do have a habit of like, I'm gonna murder you, then it's like, I guess we're just gonna hang
friends.
out at school now.
Yep.
Also, those twins were in the new Batman movie.
Oh gosh, were they?
Yeah. Has
that.
anyone seen it? Did you
No,
see
not yet.
it? Okay, yeah, they're there, and it's fun. I was like, hey, they're from Teen Wolf.
I will only see a Batman franchise if they have the balls to put Robin in. Robin's been around longer than the Joker. He's an important part of Batman lore. He's the reason Batman grows as a character. I'm not even a Batman stan, but like that's like.
Was it Joel Schumacher who did the one?
Yeah.
I think he made it so homoerotic that no director or studio really wants to touch that now.
You know what? Be brave enough.
But that's the thing. It's like, go for it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
We have gay rights now. We can do it.
Thank you, Glee.
Thanks, Glee. I think that's why the best Batman movie is Lego Batman.
Yes,
I
actually agree with that. Yes.
It's a really good movie, and Batman has like.
You should see it. It's good.
I like the Lego movie though.
So many Batman movies are like, he's such a cool badass. And like the Lego Batman movie has the balls to be like, you know what? He's lonely and he needs to grow as a person.
Yeah.
And that's what our heroes need to do. They need to grow. You
Yeah,
know, Rachel
Rachel.
shouldn't be fighting with people over the same solos.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Mary
Well-
smash murder.
I'm gonna do the same as Alyssa. Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
we have
I
3 on the
Googled.
same bandwagon here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep up with the trend. That's what we're doing.
Rogue. I'm a rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Okay, the One Direction poster, A, makes me think of my cousins when I would like sleep over at my cousin's house and like her room was all One Direction. And then B, have you seen those TikToks where people are like fanfics in 2012? And it's like this girl who like goes on tour with One Direction. And, like,
Your
it's
name.
it's so funny. And then like they do the voices. They even have like that fandom joke about one of them's afraid of spoons.
Oh my gosh.
Like Ariana Grande's there and she's like randomly mean. It's so good. Okay, so I guess we should talk about City of Angels.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You picked a good episode. This is actually like the best episode we've seen in a very long time.
I had
Very
no
long
idea
time.
that this was the Nationals episode.
I
No
only
clue.
did because I remembered the tiny bit that they talked about it last week. I put it on and was like, oh, they're going to LA. That's right, because it's nationals apparently.
Yeah, it didn't feel like high stakes really for this Nationals episode.
No,
Nope.
not at all. And honestly, like literally when it was over, because it's the nationals, I was like, oh, you know what? Like this is like the end of the season. There's still like 9 more episodes. And I was like, guys,
They really drug it out.
this is the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this episode, honestly, it was fine. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Actually, I really like their performance. I think it's one of their better competition performances.
I agree. I was actually like, I think they should have won.
Yeah, because there's so many times where they win with like where like the other team is clearly better and they still win. But this
Yeah.
I was like, no,
I
like
don't
this
know,
was
like, this
good.
is really good.
I disagree with that though.
I don't know. No,
I don't think so.
It wasn't a
Interesting.
bad performance, but I don't know. But then I don't know if Throat Explosion should have won either.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we only got to see one of their numbers, and that's like
Yeah.
if you're gonna have one of the other teams win in the episode, I feel like we should have at least gotten to see all of their numbers so we could compare equally.
Well, that's the thing. This, like Sam says, that why do some people have one song and other people have 3?
Yeah.
So maybe that was all their set list. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I like Skylar Aston. I loved him in Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
You
Loved him in
Love
Pitch
it.
Perfect. Hair and makeup, I think, did him dirty because his hair was not
Yeah.
looking good.
A little bit.
Is that
a little
the
bit.
leader of Third Explosion?
Mhm.
Yeah. His
Yeah,
name
he
is
looked like
Jean
40.
Baptiste. He did. He looked
Like
really old.
Mhm.
His name is Jean Baptiste, which I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and it's literally stylized as if it's just like one name. I thought Baptiste was like his last name. No, I think this character has one name. He's like Madonna.
Yeah. See, so I think we've talked about this before, how I feel like once you've played a college student in a movie, you can't go back and play a high schooler. Sorry, Ben Platt. And I'm not even the biggest Dear Evan Hansen movie hater.
I'm
but
not
like,
sorry to Ben Platt.
But like,
Only person who can get away with it is like Jordan Fisher. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
that's right. Because
different-
Pitch Perfect is college. I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that.
It's like different if it's a play, like if it's Broadway. It's different if it's a period piece, like medieval times. Like,
Mhm.
sure, now you're a medieval 16-year-old. I get that. But like when it's like you've been in like he looked significantly younger with his styling in Pitch Perfect, where he's supposed to be like 18 or 19.
He looked
Sounded
very
just more
youthful.
Mhm.
Yeah. He was more nerdy in Pitch Perfect, and they made Jean Baptiste like try to make him more intense. So they gave him that little ugly haircut.
Yeah. But I love
Yeah.
Skylar Aston though. He's so fun to watch.
He was just on Grey's Anatomy. He's a
Yeah, I saw
character on
that.
there now.
I mean, I didn't see Grey's
Really?
Anatomy. I saw it on Google because I Googled him. I was like, what is he up to?
Yeah, I don't watch it.
And yeah, so
He
I
was
actually-
in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend last season.
Let's see.
you know I haven't caught up with it.
And then I stopped, but then I realized that I watched like the take video, and then I learned more about the show. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and watch it. Haven't done it yet, but I will.
There are some episodes that are just like literally painful, but like they're supposed to be.
Right.
But like
because we watched this show.
Yeah, like if you're watching Glee, you can do it.
Yeah, if you get through Glee, I'm sure you can get through those episodes that are meant to be painful. Glee is not often meant to be painful. I think they're very serious in the things they're trying to accomplish. So,
yeah. So for storylines, really, we have the Nationals. We have Marley, and we have Bert and Carol kind of attached to Nationals. So let's quickly discuss what I'm pretty sure is Marley's last storyline. Am I wrong? People seen the whole show. Yeah. I think this is Marley's last storyline, and that makes me feel only that Marley was necessary, only that these characters were so necessary to the arc of Glee.
Yeah,
because this is the last storyline they get.
Yeah, they just tossed them out, literally.
And I mean, like, we kind of had I think they were slowly preparing us for do not remove any attachment you had to these characters. You will not be seeing them very much ever again. Because the past, I think 5 episodes, I literally wrote on here, I'm like, have any of them talked lately? Because I don't even remember. But also Marley's storyline kind of sucks because she's really depressed and sad, but then it's the boys who do stuff to her, and it's just she doesn't even get to do stuff. It's so passive.
Yeah, she wasn't, unfortunately, she was not a strong character, I don't think. No. She never really had, she had in the end of Twerk, but then it was done after that, where she was really a strong character.
Yeah. End of Twerk, Katie or Gaga, she was I'm done. She's standing up for herself. And
then she got punished.
Glee does not like when women do that, unless they're Lea Michele. But I do, it's just Marley always, she lacked, you could have a character who's like that, but they need to be able to make concrete choices to push their events forward. They need to be able to be you know what, I've had enough, I'm doing this, and I feel that's what Marley's missing. And spoiler, that's why Marley doesn't come back in the finale when everyone else does. I know it's probably because Melissa Benoist was filming Supergirl, but I'm Marley's I'm saving the world now with Supergirl, I don't need this Glee club, that treated me like shit the whole time anyway.
Yeah, we've been saying for a couple weeks now that this Glee club has not been good for her mental health, for her physical health, for her self-confidence. She's broken from this club. Right.
She switched schools to get away from that, but then it just went from worse to worse.
Yeah.
Great job, Will.
Thanks, William.
It is his fault.
Yeah.
William.
So
William.
So I watched this episode a couple days ago, and I was literally trying to remember the other day, why does Ryder come to Marley's room?
Is that where the storyline starts?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I literally skipped through it. I could not watch them in the same scene together without literally feeling nauseous.
I was super uncomfortable with him in her room. It was uncomfortable.
Well, also, if I remember, they didn't really show us them in the hotels in season 3, but in season 2, there's a lot of scenes of them in the hotels in New York. And they're all together. There's a bunch of people crammed in these rooms. So I'm why does Marley just alone?
Yeah, it made me think that the person that she's rooming with, probably unique, is off doing something. But typically when you're on a trip like that, I don't think you can just stay back in the hotel room by yourself.
Not in high school. You have to be chaperoned and shit like that.
Who's the only chaperone? That's not even realistic, even if it's just for 12 kids.
Yeah, honestly though, when they said Bert and Kel were oh, Schuster can handle this on his own, I literally had an aneurysm. I was no, he can't. Especially, I'm getting all fired up about it already. But yeah, he literally knocks on the door. He's can I come in? She's yeah, I guess.
She's had it.
She's so like she's doing this probably so that like he doesn't like pester her.
Yeah,
like, or worse.
Well, they put Ryder and Marley together because old boy was forcing them to do it behind the scenes, and then they threw that storyline away, which was good because nobody was. If people were shipping them, then they were not smart. But I didn't like that whole Ryder Jake Marley storyline anyway. It just they threw away all of Jake's character development.
Oh yeah,
they did.
Yeah, they did. And so she's like, you know, I submitted my songs to this contest and you know they didn't win. And I'm like, you know, I've heard more friends than you know. And
yeah, like I'm glad that someone in the music industry has some taste.
you know, but we all know I do like All or Nothing. And that canonically in the Glee universe, Marley wrote Wrecking Ball. Because
right, the timeline.
The timeline issues, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So maybe she just wasn't submitting her hits, she was submitting outcasts.
Outcasts.
They weren't making the Descendants movies yet, so they didn't have use for it. Yeah. So she's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna join accounting club.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna quit. And then Ryder says nothing like, hey, you know, last year I thought I wanted to quit, because they totally forgot that he wanted to quit. He was not supposed to stay in this club. He was supposed to be off somewhere else doing his own thing, because he had been through drama himself in that club, being shamed for being sexually assaulted as a child. It was just, but no, that doesn't happen. He's just like, no, don't do that. You're great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It makes me wish that someone had been there to be like, listen, this club did give you an eating disorder. This club has ruined your life in many ways. Maybe you should join accounting club.
Or, you know, art club. You don't have to totally ruin the arts, like, or kick out the arts. And so she's like, yeah, I'm thinking of joining accounting club. He's like, you can't. You have to stay in Glee Club. You're amazing. So let's backtrack a little and talk about Mercedes.
Oh yes.
So Mercedes is carrying a fake chihuahua. She's made it in LA.
What did she call it? A fawawa?
A fawawa.
Yeah. Fake.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those. I've only seen real chihuahuas being carried around.
Yeah. Yeah, not by adults, like maybe children.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas or real chihuahuas?
Fawawa.
Well, like a stuffed chihuahua or a stuffed little dog.
Not a thing.
Yeah, no. But she like made it sound like the alternate universe that Glee lives in. Like this is normal for LA.
She could have brought in a husky and that would have been on par with LA and how they treat dogs. Like you can take your dog anywhere.
Yeah. So this annoyed me to no end. Okay. So she's selling hell to the no in a parking lot. She says some Mexican lady takes pity on her. And I'm like, oh, here's the twist. Mexican lady's going to be an executive. She's going to be a radio DJ. She's going to be something. No, she's a cleaning lady. I'm like,
of Kanye West.
Glee, you know, you can always count on Glee to have that little racism. That just reliance on racial stereotypes. It's one of our consistencies in the world. Yeah. And so she's a cleaning lady for Kanye West.
Okay, so the cleaning lady gave it to Kanye. Kanye gave it to Kim, and I went rip. And then
Kim gave it to Ryan Seacrest.
And then I went rip because they're no longer on E. They're going to somewhere else. Netflix?
You know,
some streaming service. The Kardashians are coming back. That wasn't the last of their show, just in case anyone missed that. But anyway,
people need to get off their ass and work.
I mean, you know, that's why she's like, I have to do this show continuously for the rest of my life. But anyway, a lot of references that didn't age well in this episode.
And then he gave it to Sony Records. I used to have to deal with them at my old job. Neutral memories. Not bad, not good. Neutral. And so they're like, I'll write songs for you. Mercedes is like, I'll write songs for you, but you're gonna give me my own album, and you're not gonna make me follow it up with a lame Christmas album. And
you're gonna pay for 2 music videos. Yeah, she's taken charge in this.
I love the line where she's like, I was drinking Perrier with all of these people.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so accurate.
Yeah, at one of my jobs, the executive had like his own Perrier that like people weren't allowed to touch.
So dumb.
And when
so accurate.
And when someone was nice to me, I would just give them some of the boss's Perrier.
Wow.
He's a billionaire. He can buy more Perrier. Yeah. So you know what? I like this for Mercedes because Rachel gets everything she wants handed to her. And Mercedes has had to go through it. Like, yes, she struggled way less than like a real person breaking into the music industry would.
I didn't see Rachel in a parking lot.
Exactly. Like by Glee standards,
she would
Mercedes
never be found in a parking lot unless she was dead.
One show with like 2 credits, and then she made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, yes, I was in one high school production of West Side Story, and
a partial production that we never made it through
of Rocky
Horror.
A partial production of Cabaret.
Yeah, that's right. And then also she won a national championship with her show choir. So yeah, nothing professional. Super green. The greenest green you've ever seen.
Not even community theater. Like
yeah. Oh,
she did not even play.
I've talked about that so much.
She did not even play Liesel. She's not even been Marion the Librarian, you know, like so yeah, Mercedes, you know, I'm so happy for her. She's probably one of the only Glee characters that hasn't violated the Geneva Convention at some point. So I'm happy for her. And so then Ryder comes into the room. Jake is doing a classic. I hate to call this female gaze because I do think it's a gay male gaze thing, but Jake is committing one of my least favorite faux pas. He's sitting there in jeans and a belt without his shirt reading.
It's the belt part that gets you?
Yeah. So like as a man, when you're coming home, the part of your clothes that you're like, this is uncomfortable, I want to take off, is your pants.
Right.
Even if you're not wearing a belt, it's like, I want to take my pants off. You're not like, oh, my nipples need to breathe. Like, yeah, like,
right.
But
that makes sense.
Like, Teen Wolf, they do this all the time. They have like Derek, he'll be literally working out in jeans and a belt. And
Yep.
That makes no sense. And this has real life ramifications because I'll be in the gym and I'll see these guys. No. They'll be wearing like the bro tanks, right? With like nothing on their, basically nothing on their torso, but then like baggy pants. And you're like, and I'm like, you know, I've been working out and my pants have gotten in the way. Like, that's why like you wear shorts or like short, like, because they get in the way less. So pants will actually get in the way. I've never been like, oh, this t-shirt's getting in the way. If only there was slightly less fabric on my torso. You know, as long as it's like a remotely fitting shirt, like it's fine. So like, men, it's this thing in male fashion. Like, I just need to wear as less of my torso as I can to show off my muscles. And I'm like, but there's like no practicality to it. Whereas people are like afraid to wear like short shorts because that's like a gay thing. But there is actual like a practicality. That's why like sports uniforms often have like shorter shorts because like you need more mobility.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird soapbox of mine, but I'm like, why is Jake doing this? It's just because he has abs and he's gonna put on the same blue shirt he wears in every scene.
He looked very good though.
He does look good. He's a hot guy. He's very hot. Mm-hmm. But like, I was also thinking how Jake has one of the more realistic wardrobes of any character in the show because he is always wearing the same blue shirt. And like,
that's
high schoolers
that's
really
now.
cycle through the same few clothes. I think Finn would rewear sweaters. But other than that, people like never rewear anything unless there's Cheerios uniform, which they just live in.
The same thing with Marley though. She's supposed to be brokey broke, right? Then her style just automatically upgrades.
Yep.
And it's never talked about.
Yeah, she should be wearing like a smiley face t-shirt and jeans.
And Sam, same thing. He's
Yep.
supposed to like not
Poor.
even have a place to live. Where is he
think he's
getting
in
his
school.
clothes?
Well, I thought he was still living with Carol and Bert, right? So maybe they were buying his clothes.
We're
That
not
is
sure.
the question.
We've
He
been
never say
discussing this
anything after he moves back at the beginning of
Mhm.
season 3.
Because I feel like if he was living with Carol and Bert, I think Sam, like realistically, Sam would have had a more intense reaction and I guess involvement in the quarterback episode, because at that point he would be kind of like a brother. But that's, in realism. But
They just
But
threw his
also-
storyline away. They didn't say where his family went, if they were still in
Nope.
Kentucky or what.
Yep.
nope. That's
No.
why Alyssa's like, I think he lives
Yeah.
in the school.
I'm certain. Because would Carol and Bert be okay with Sam living in their house when they're in DC?
Right, just by himself. I
I
don't know.
don't know.
I don't think you can legally do that to a minor.
I don't know.
Because like, yeah, they can like babysit themselves at like 14 or whatever, but
But
like,
not for like months at a time.
yeah.
Well, they're not his parents though. It's his parents who would be in trouble, not
but I think
Carol
they
and
would
Bert.
be legally connected because it was their house.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe he moved in with Blaine. We'll never know.
But then
Maybe that
Blaine-
makes sense.
Blaine offered him money. I think it was guilty pleasures where he was like, I know
Hmm.
your family's struggling. Here's money.
Yep.
Who we
So
need to talk to?
confusing.
They don't know. We don't know where Sam is living. He's living with Sharpay. But she's in Albuquerque. She's in
Yeah,
Albuquerque.
and this is Ohio. Oh my goodness. So confusing.
Yeah. Because the High School Musical crew didn't graduate, I think, till I was in college. And the Glee kids graduated when I graduated.
High School Musical. We literally just did this episode. They graduated 2008 because that's when.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
yeah, I was gonna say,
I
Did
just
they
was hearing,
graduate before I graduated.
yeah,
I guess
'cause-
I just remember drama about someone talking about going to see High School Musical 3, but I guess I was just hearing about really stale drama while I was in college.
maybe. I remember sneaking into the theater. We were like waiting for our parents to pick us up because we were in middle school. And we like snuck into the theater and sat there and watched like the first, like smack dab in the middle. It was like right before Troy and Gabriella like kiss in a treehouse or something. And we had to leave. But I saw like 15 minutes of it.
I have never seen High School Musical 3.
Oh my gosh, get out.
I get to stay because I've seen 15 minutes right in the middle.
I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
I 2 was an event. Like it was coming on. I was a big fan of the first one. We all got ready. Like my whole family watched it. And then I was like, wait, I don't think I liked this. So then I never saw 3.
We just talked about it on our podcast. We had on John from Life's But a Song, and then we had my sister Brianna. It was a really good discussion, I think.
So check that out, Glee Booties.
I didn't say a word the whole thing, so
She was like tipsy. I don't know.
I had a margarita.
So yeah, so then they're like, we need to help Marley, and Jake's like, oh, you're talking to me now? Like, you barely waited till the body was cold.
Oh, I hated that line.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that
literally called it out. I was like, she's a person.
That was
Ugh.
gross. And it like took the conversation from being insufferable to being like necrophilia. And I was like, oh my God.
Ah.
Yeah. We did say Riders and Vampires, so but yeah, so then he's like, I thought we were friends, and he's like, we are friends. Okay.
And then they're like, let's team up to do something that we think is nice for the girl that we both have feelings for, I guess is the way to put it. And not let her make her own decisions or deal with things in her own way. We're going to be heroes.
Yeah, and then they sing "We Can Be Heroes" by Alyssa. So then they are like, we don't know any famous people, but we know someone who's almost famous. and then that movie starts. No.
I wish.
And then they get Mercedes for what is probably one of only 10 positive female interactions on this whole show. Mercedes comes out and talks to Marley and is like, hey, you get 3 minutes. 3 minutes to feel down when someone says they don't like your music, you know, like, and then go and write a new song, you know. It's actually really good advice. Like, you know, feel your feelings, you know, take a break and then keep going. She's like, I lost every solo to Rachel Berry in high school. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not because of talent.
No.
No,
That's
because of deep-seated shit.
Racism.
Yeah, because Will is a racist. And yeah. Yeah, I'm like, you deserved, I mean, like at least 50% of those solos. And she's like, and I got dumped by my record label, and I got dumped by Sam Evans twice. Wait, actually, I dumped him twice. And then it made me think, when did Sam Sadie's the second time end?
When did they even start the second time? They didn't really start because she was, I have to, you know, protect my heart after cheating on Shane.
Yeah, didn't they just like,
She had
they
become
kissed once,
I
and then
think-
that was like it.
I think
Never
it was
went
Saturday
anywhere.
Night Gleever.
Yeah.
Because then he posts Disco Inferno and then he's like,
Oh, yes.
I'm
Yeah,
there for
yes.
you.
We're not
Mhm.
dating, but like, I'm gonna help you become a big star.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was
then
all
they were like
off-screen
kind
purpose.
of together, but like not. I assume they broke up when she graduated.
Yeah.
Mm.
Makes sense.
We'll never know because everybody's focused on Finchel and Britannia and Colleen.
Yeah, we will never
Mhm.
know.
Like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, because I was just thinking like that couple never got justice. So yeah, so she inspires Marley, I guess, and Marley's like, okay. She's like, we're all gonna hear about what great things Marley Rose is doing. And I'm like, that's hilarious because we will never hear. We will never know what Marley Rose is
R.I.P..
doing.
Yeah, R.I.P. And then she's like, I may have to come to you to get some songs. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Women supporting women. We support that.
Mhm.
I was pleased that Mercedes was like, you know, those two guys really care about you. And then I was like, I shut off. I was like, absolutely not. And then she said, but that doesn't mean you can date them. And I
Yeah.
was like, yay, okay, good.
Some solid advice. Thank
Yes.
you.
I was about ready to have a fit. And then I did not. And it was all good.
Because in another world, a very common world in Glee, it would have been like, they both really like you. Good luck with that love triangle. You should try it out with both of them. They both seem really nice. It's bullshit like that. But it
Mhm.
wasn't. It was like, that doesn't mean you should date them though.
Yeah, that doesn't mean any of them have displayed any admirable qualities this season. This season, because Jake was a pretty good boyfriend last season.
You know,
A little clueless at
Go all the way.
times, but
Except for the
until
time
they-
where
yeah.
he let, what's his name?
Ryder
Plan all the Valentine's Day.
yeah.
That was not great. But
That's
then
not
when-
great, but like forgivable, normal, like
Yeah. I think like, but he just, yeah, he got completely rolled back, which super sucks.
Yep.
yeah. And then also, this is I think his last storyline too. So there's just the note he ends on. It's like, sorry, I cheated on you. Become a pop star.
Poor season.
And suddenly Jake and Ryder are like friends again. That was interesting.
But we never got the Jider content I wanted. Not because I
Correct.
really wanted it, but because I knew Glee wouldn't give it to me.
Mhm. You want what you can't have,
Yeah.
what you could never have.
I mean, I'm still scarred by the accidental time I read the Puck Jake fanfic.
Oh
Mm.
my goodness. How is that accidental, Cullen?
We've discussed this before.
I know, but I forgot.
They did not tag incest. And then I was
Which-
like, this is getting boring. Let me scroll ahead. And it was like his throbbing member inside. I'm like, oh.
Told you, dangerous place to be.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah.
that person forgot that they were half siblings.
No, that was like part of it.
Oh, I bet you they know.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, they knew.
I bet you they know. That's a crazy episode. The main storyline, they're in LA. Nope, they're not. They're in the choir room. And they're like, we're going to LA. No. Oh, I forgot about it. Back it up. Will brings Sam into his office. And he's like, Sam, you are the nearest white straight male. I have decided you are
I could have picked
leader.
Artie, who's been in this club longer and is also a white male, but I chose you.
I chose you because
You
I need you
can
to be
walk.
hot too.
That too. Some
You know,
ableist shit.
We'll talk about that on ours. Will Schuster's ableist.
Oh yeah.
He's all the ists.
Every single one of them.
White supremacist.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, we did just have Blaine talk about being a leader after his puppet fantasies, but no.
But the puppet
it's-
thing went too far and we cannot give him this role.
But
Too
you
much
know,
power.
Too much power.
It's you, Sam. It's always been you. You're the leader. I'm not just picking you because my star Golden Boy is no longer here and I just have to pick somebody. And it's so weird. It's just the weirdest thing because like Blaine is also like an able-bodied white male, so like it wouldn't be that much better. But
He
like
basically was. So like why even try to throw this little storyline together? Just more like he's just putting all this pressure on Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I feel like Blaine was the leader.
He was.
And also like what a terrible time to pick your leader, like literally during your last competition.
Right before it. Yeah. I mean,
Like,
You're the leader. Really? Oh, I guess.
okay.
He's like, I got 3 hot cheerleaders to be on the club.
To
Because we
fill
didn't have-
in. Yeah, because the recap pointed it out. Well, one, they mentioned Rory. They did not mention Sugar or
or
Joe.
Joe.
the recap mentioned Rory.
They're like,
Yeah.
because they don't have Rachel or Santana or Mercedes or Rory, that Irish kid.
What happened to
I
him?
could,
It's like,
that went way
you guys
over my- I did
deported
not
him
hear
back
that.
to Ireland. That's what happened. And then the recap is like, yeah, they don't even have enough members. And I'm like, at least someone's pointing it out finally. But then they just get some random cheerleaders. And I'm like,
Like,
sure.
do that to decide.
Were
okay.
they?
They couldn't even
cheerleaders?
give them names. Yeah, they're just like 3 random chicks. They put
Yeah,
in
they were
this-
girls, but I didn't know that. Like,
Sam said they were cheerleaders, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think there's one shot in the choir room
missed
where I
that one,
noticed
too.
one of them. And she was in a Cheerios uniform.
Mhm.
But I only noticed one of them in the choir room, and then all of a sudden they were on stage. I was like, oh, I don't know who you are.
I just so the whole point of the Glee project, which we endured, was because Ryan was like, the main class is graduating, we need new characters, we're gonna start introducing them in season 3. What's the point if they're just gonna, if Joe and Rory just gone?
Nope. There.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't one.
No.
Like Ryder did actually become a character, much to everyone's chagrin,
Yeah.
but like he was there.
Like poor Joe. Samuel Larson, that's my guy. He deserves some justice.
Yeah.
I'm still
he-
bitter over the skadoosh thing, so I don't know.
Yeah. Also, what's weird is I hear other people saying that, and I'm like, was that not Hannah's thing? I mean, it was definitely Hannah's thing in the show. It was, but
Yeah.
Who is
God,
saying
where is
that,
she?
Hannah?
What?
Who did you hear saying that?
I don't know. I was watching a YouTube video, just like someone playing some gameplay, and they literally said skadoosh, and I was like, "Did you watch the Glee project?" But I think that video predated the Glee project.
I think Jack
know.
Black says it in Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I was like, that's I only
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
term from Kung Fu Panda.
Because I've definitely
So
heard it
maybe
before.
Did Hannah take it from Kung Fu Panda?
It is
Probably.
possible.
Is she?
Probably.
Wow. Well, I mean, it was her thing though, and Joe stole it. But anyway, where are they? Where?
As far
is-
as we know, because that was an edited reality show.
True. That's true. But
You know,
reality
if-
shows, they are true.
If anyone's gonna bring the truth out, I bet like Gleek of the Week has been getting some crazy guests they're gonna. I could see them bring that out.
Somebody from the cast. I don't subscribe to their Patreon, but somebody from the cast, like I'm assuming one of the bigger characters, got to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to find out who.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and then he's like, yeah, Mr. Shu, I won't let you down, I'll be a leader. And then Tina opens the door and it's like, they're here. Isabella, your boyfriend's here, time for dinner. So Bert and Carol are there. They're gonna be chaperones. Our favorite couple.
Yeah.
Best people in the Gleeverse.
Best parents, best adults.
Best actors in Hollywood, can I say?
Say it. Say your
deserve it.
truth. Say our truth.
Yeah. Well, I watched the Oscars because Bert and Carol aren't winning.
Points right.
So they're there and they're gonna be chaperones. And Will is like, let's get this started or something.
And he sings a song.
He sings Welcome to I Love LA. I Love LA. Someone definitely Googled songs about LA because I was not.
And they got one.
Because they didn't do Party in the USA. This was their time to do it.
It's perfect idea. And then they had Skylar asked us, they said, not too much.
Yeah, because they could have hopped off the plane at LAX just to dream in Marley's cardigan.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're so right. It makes so much sense.
This when they go into the montage about them doing all these touristy things in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on the bus.
And I've never
all
seen
wearing
one of those.
sunglasses.
Yeah, like that. Up the stairs. What if you want a trip?
With all the hot dogs. I mean, I just think you make me feel like the 4th of July. I want a hot dog. Maybe one too? Yeah. Red, White, and Blonde? Yeah. Never seen that movie, but I have seen the trailer. So yeah, they're driving around LA, driving by places I used to drive by for my commute to that shitty production company.
If anyone ever comes to LA and you're using Glee as like the cornerstone of what you should be looking at as a tourist, they lie. All of the places that they show, well,
what's the lie?
Yeah.
Listen,
I mean,
go hiking.
Yeah.
Don't go to the city.
No, people go there. I've had people be like, yeah, I'm here on my honeymoon. I'm like, why didn't you tell me you were coming here? I would have told you not to go to Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, you see,
not
like
romantic.
There are places that you can't, like, you can go because you're a tourist, but you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, so they're driving around Hollywood, which I used to drive by, and I'm like, yep, it's all tacky, it's all gross.
Oh yeah, it's real tacky. I mean, the fact that they have an entire sequence based on a hot dog place.
That is a famous hot dog place.
Yes, but what does that say about LA?
Yeah.
You guys didn't take me to the famous hot dog place when I came to visit.
No, we just started this podcast.
That would have been more money if they went to In-N-Out, so they would have to.
True, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, LA, when people come visit, it's like, what one thing do you want to do today? It's not
the
like...
Getty is good. The Getty is a good place to go if you come to LA.
Yeah, but these Gleek kids, I'm not letting them near artwork.
Is that like a theater?
It's a art museum, right?
It's an art museum, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty would be like, there's too much nudity, and like burn a Renaissance painting.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. She'd be like, excuse me, this historical biblical figure was white and like destroy a medieval icon. So they're like running around LA singing this song that the entire Glee fandom collectively forgot about as it happened. And then they so now is there anything between Bert and Carol are like helping Tina and Sam get ready. Like Bert's showing Sam how to tie a bow tie.
Carol's helping hem or sew some dresses and stuff.
And they're talking and they're like, oh, I just love Tina's like, I love these competitions. And like, and Bert's like, that people like sports, and that's why people do those softball leagues. And Sam is like, yeah, those people clinging to the relics of their past that they can never relive.
40-year-olds. Yeah, that's why 40-year-olds play sports.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with about staying
amazing.
healthy.
It was so funny.
And Tina's like, our lives are going to be so empty after this. And then Carol's like, well, at least you'll have one.
Yeesh.
But I think like the conversation that happens after that is very like, Tina's like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. And then Sam's like, she does this all the time. And I was like, why are you shaming Tina?
Listen, that's a completely normal thing for anyone to say, but especially a teenager.
Yeah,
like
I felt
she
that.
had nothing to apologize for.
No, but like, I guess like it's nice that she did because she realized it.
And Carol was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Yeah, like it was a very like oddly mature conversation, except for that part where like Sam's like, oh, Tina does this. And I'm like,
well, it was just, I felt weird about it because I felt like it was two women apologizing profusely to each other, which is kind of like what we're taught to do, and I'm not a fan of
conditioning, social conditioning.
Yeah.
So after they leave, and because Bert's like, just head out and Carol will finish the dress. And Carol's like, it's hard, but like each time one of them laughs or skips away, I just think of him. He's not here, and I thought being with his friends would help, but it feels so awful. And he's like, we'll do, we'll go down to Laguna Beach,
because I know you liked that show when it was on.
It was
so sweet.
It was sweet. I was surprised that they ended up like deciding to chaperone in the first place.
Well, I think Carol kind of says that like she wanted to do it because this is kind of like the last of Finn, because when they graduate, that's kind of it. Like she kind of has she feels like she kind of has to officially move on because there's not really going to be anyone around who's as connected to him.
And he coached the team too. So
so it's like she's kind of doing it in place of him, I guess. Which also I was not expecting this much Finn sentiment, and it made me really sad. Yeah,
it especially hit me during the performance, but we'll get to that.
I didn't cry this time. Was I did get a little choked up though.
Not cry. Can't relate. I bawled my eyes out.
Almost. I was like, I'm sitting there like watching. I'm like, don't cry, don't do it, don't cry.
And then they were in the hotel I keep forgetting scenes.
The lobby.
So Will's trying to check in, and apparently Detective Sylvester called and said like child predator with a butt chin would be kidnapping 12 to
in a perm
teenagers in a perm, and not to give him a room. And he's just like, which apparently somehow gets resolved. We don't see how, but
I wanted to see the FBI agents.
Yeah, because like it's just like, and you should call the FBI. So like, okay, one, how do you get a hold of just like the FBI?
Google like, the FBI business.
FBI phone number. FBI LA.
It's not impossible. Like I just saw this TikTok. It's kind of serious, but like reporting hate crimes, don't report hate crimes to the police because they use it for statistics to say that hate crimes are going down in the country, and to contact the FBI if you witness a hate crime and would like to report it.
Did they give a number?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I saved the video.
Interesting.
Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
And then then like throat explosion is coming in, and Glenn's like, oh my gosh, it's them. And they're like, who? He's like, do none of you read the show choir blogs? And Kitty's like, only you read the show choir blogs. Only you. And that was her delivery was great. And it's Jean Baptiste, the 35-year-old man, and his
But what's crazy, he wasn't 35 at this point, but he looks 35.
He does.
I think he was like maybe late 20s, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, he does
Oh.
look that. He looks like he has a receding hairline. Like it's like all the way back here.
He has
So-
Eddie Munster hair.
Yeah. Well, I
Yes,
mean, the
please,
makeup
please,
also, like the makeup,
his
instead of
hairline.
getting rid of his wrinkles, kind of accentuated them. It was just not good.
Should
Yeah.
just let him be.
Yeah, really.
He looked really young in that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone was like, I don't like Pitch Perfect. I want to end up with Anna Kendrick. Ruin his makeup. And they're like, oh yeah, like they have like they talk trash or whatever, and it's pretty forgettable.
Yeah, he says something to Blaine, and Blaine's like, how do you know who I am? He's like, show choir blocks.
I like that because it kind of reminded me of, like, even though Pitch Perfect 2 didn't come out yet, it reminds me of Pitch Perfect 2, where Rebecca's talking to the DAS sound machine people.
Yes.
And she can't think of a insult, and she just insults the girl because she's attracted to her.
Uh-huh.
That's what it was giving.
Yeah, and then Sam's like, as the leader of the New Directions. And then we got my favorite point of the series today. We just get this quick shot of Tina's face going like,
What?
what?
And it says so many things. It's like, what? Who picked you? 2, when did this happen? 3, why? It's just, it's such a great moment. Because like you texted us and I hadn't seen the episode at that point. So I was waiting for it. When I saw it, I was like, oh, I get it.
That's like, you have to make sure I bring this up because it's such a small detail, but it was so fucking funny. And like, because Tina is the one character, not the one, but like the main character who just points out like the injustice of the Glee Club and how it's run. She's always like, no, I hate this. And so she was just like, excuse me? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, we're fine, like whatever. And then they walk off. It left no impression on me. But
I liked Sam and Blaine's reaction afterwards. I actually thought that was really funny because they were talking about how intense he was, and like
that's
was
why
like,
it reminded
he
me.
was so close to my face, and then squashed like a bug. That's such a great line. I wish I had said that. It was they like bonded over this person bullying them.
The little mini convos that happen after like a scene that people miss out, and that's where it really gets funny in shows.
Yep.
yeah, and then they sneak on stage. Blaine mentions that the Warblers have traditions he can't speak of.
And then my mind went dirty, unfortunately.
Oh, mine did too.
Oh yeah.
It's gay
I was
shit.
like,
we all know.
giant warbler orgy.
Yeah.
At the very least, they kiss.
Yeah. 100 Clarington, I'm not buying that even, not even remotely by curious line. So they're like doing a show circle and they're talking about it, and Sam brought the Finn plaque. And then they're like, we made it. Sam's trying to give a pep talk, even though we lost sectionals and it kind of was Marley's fault, or it wasn't Marley's fault.
He said it wasn't Marley's fault. And like he's saying it right behind Marley, and Marley's kind of like shrugging and smiling, like, I can't fucking wait to be away from these people.
Yep.
And he's like, but we're gonna make this, we're gonna make Finn proud. And then Jean-Baptiste shows up and he's like, oh, we actually do this too, like we claimed this for a last minute rehearsal. And then all the throat explosions come out of the wings, and they're like, yeah, so you have to leave. And they're like, someone makes a comment about like Finn being dead.
Yeah,
I
think it's
is it Guru or something?
Yeah. One of the throat explosion people said something, and he's like, hey, like Jean-Baptiste is like, that's not cool. We will give you our sympathy, but tomorrow we're going to crush you. Which I thought was like, you know what, cool, thanks.
That scene reminded me because I also lost a friend when I was in high school, and she had graduated the year before us. And when we had a show circle during, like, we have cast prayer for during the show, and that really reminded me of it. So I got a little teary-eyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like a nice moment. And yeah, and this episode is just making me think of how I think the show would have been better without any of the New York stuff. Like if I had really just focused on McKinley, I think.
I didn't even notice there wasn't any New York stuff until it showed up at the end. I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot about you guys.
Like it's just, you know, it's hard because you're like, you know, Kurt and Rachel and Santana, like they're such cool parts of the show. Like, how are we gonna let them go? But I do think, like, thinking of 4 and 5, the stuff that happened at McKinley was more memorable and interesting than anything.
Yeah.
in New York.
I don't know. Turkey lurkey time? Never forget turkey lurkey time.
Never forget, let's have a kiki.
Oh, so good.
So then the next day they're in the bus and someone took the Finn plaque.
I want to know how and when.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I thought. These people are ninjas.
And
It's
like
not like
that's
a
just
tiny plaque. It's a big ass plaque.
Yeah.
and that's just also really like the fucked up thing to put that much effort in.
Yeah.
So
Where did he put it? Mom got so many questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'd get cursed for that kind of shit
By who?
by Finn's ghost.
Whoever.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an episode of Supernatural. I stole a plaque and show choir.
Sam and Dean are
Only
like,
the first
we got
2 seasons,
this.
so.
Yeah. After that, they don't have time for that kind of
Maybe
stuff.
Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I forgot that was a show. Wow.
I haven't watched any of the shows you guys are naming. I've heard of them, but
Oh, Supernatural, so good.
I can't do like two shows that are like too heavy with like gore or drama and stuff. My heart can't take that.
Supernaturals.
It-
The gore is like okay, but the drama gets up pretty high towards
melodrama, regular
like,
drama.
season
35 through
3,
46. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
upwards it just
Yeah.
gets
I cry too
yeah.
easily. I can't do it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to watch it. I know you.
I've only seen a couple episodes, honestly. So yeah, so then Finn or Sam, Freudian slip there. Sam gives them like a little pep talk, and then they go to do nationals there where Bert and Carol, and you know, Blaine is like, Tina's like, I can't believe I said that stuff in front of her, and Blaine's like, you can't help it.
It's just so annoying how they're treating Tina. Also, like,
That's
not even
really
just the
annoying.
characters, but like the show. Like,
Mhm.
she's just such a punching bag.
Mm-hmm.
Because we meet the judges. The only one I really remember is Prancer Size.
You
Okay.
don't remember Jack A?
Jack Hay.
It's like,
Jack Hay.
Love that woman.
Of she was mom and sister, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Marley Matlin is like a famous actor, and then the Prancer Size lady, and like, kind of to skip ahead, we don't get a judges scene.
We
They
don't
deliberate.
It was 42 minute long episode, and it felt like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
There wasn't enough plot for me. I don't know.
it
That's
was
why I said
so much music. They could have shortened the first LA montage down, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so like, but like, thinking about those people, I'm like, I don't know, like, they're not like last time it was Perez Hilton, not Perez Hilton, Perez Hilton,
important distinction.
Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, and so like, it was bound to be funny with those people, but like, this people, I was like, I feel like it would be very like kind deliberation. Like, I don't think it would be like funny like the other ones were. So I don't know, but I mean, actually Jack Hay would be great, but
We got some reaction shots from the Prancer Size lady. She was pretty funny. Just like watching her.
I forgot she existed.
I had never heard her until this episode.
Oh,
Blaine
you
was
too.
so happy when she came out.
Yes.
face literally lit up.
Yeah.
Unique was me when Jack A came on. I was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so those are the judges, and then the first group was doing Vacation. Apparently they did a Belinda Carlisle tribute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Their
so
costumes were crazy.
They were awful.
It looked like Carnival, but like
Yeah.
bad.
The colors were garish. Fine, I can deal with them. The thing that really got me was the boas. I hated the boas.
I felt like the costumes were taken away from the singing because the singing was good.
Yeah. If the costumes were
taking away from the choreography.
Yes.
The boas create this sort of like gross mesh of bodies and you couldn't see what they were doing or how they were dancing. If they had gotten rid of the boas, it would have been like spectacular.
IRL,
way better.
Boas are not going to be great for this kind of high level dancing because you're not going to be able to see their face.
Yeah.
So,
well, it gets rid of like any sort of silhouette that you would have. So people are just not going to be able to like notice any dance moves that you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, I had like beach balls. It was whatever.
It was strange.
Yep.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
But I sang along to the song.
And then Blaine is like, hey, we can beat that. And then Throat Explosion comes on. And they're like, hey, we're a local gay bar, Throat Explosion. And they sing a bewildering mashup.
Was it a mashup or just a medley?
Medley, probably more of a medley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a medley.
Of
Mr. Roboto.
Mr. Roboto by Styx.
And Counting Stars.
It did not go together.
And you know, I've seen One Republic in concert, and I think it was during the Counting Stars era. I don't remember it.
I thought it was wasn't it post Smash? When we saw Smash?
I saw One Republic when I was in college.
Oh, I thought it was post, because I thought you were saying they didn't do the song from Smash. Do you remember the guy from One Republic was in Smash? The bed number? So maybe, okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding. You saw them first and were like, wow, they didn't do that number when I saw them. Got it.
Yeah.
Retroactive understanding.
Yeah.
I actually kind of liked the transition. It was weird.
It was smooth.
But I was thoroughly entertained. Like, I was impressed by the choreography and the singing, and like it was.
Talk about the damn boots.
Fun.
The boots. They pissed me off. Those boots.
They were the costumes were very Loser Like Me era.
They could have worn character shoes and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But they wore them knee-length boots. I just get mad. I just stare at them the whole time.
Yeah, and like a lot of the other, so as much as we like to shit on the New Directions for how much it's just Rachel singing and people in the background, like in general, especially in the competitions, they do kind of try to utilize everyone a little more. And sometimes these other clubs, it's like literally just Skylar Aston or Jean-Baptiste, as the French would say, singing, and everyone else is dancing and singing in the background. Like, if you're evaluating a high school club, part of the values of high school performing arts is like teamwork and like utilizing everyone's talents.
Right. I'm trying to think of. I'm even trying to think of a like rival group that wasn't that way. Like, I'm thinking it's budgetary, like they just want to have the basic backing and then feature one vocalist.
Yeah, it's budgetary. Yeah.
But I think every group was like that.
There was that one woman who
Adrenaline.
kind of stood out in Vocal Adrenaline.
Okay.
She was always she had a couple lines. She definitely didn't look like she was in high school.
You're talking like season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The black girl or
yeah.
the or the white girl who was in Highway to Hell?
The black girl, the black woman.
Did she sing? Wait, I don't think
I'm
she
not
sang.
sure if she ever had a solo, but she did like I remember her still. Like she was like a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so strange. I never even thought about that. But yeah, they're all like that, which obviously makes sense for the show itself, but like in context. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So then it's time for the Glee Club. And then during vacation,
Nude erections.
Bert and Carol are like seen leaving the hotel room, but then they come right before the final show circle because Will is like, it's not about winning, it's about having heart. And I'm like, where was that attitude during booty camp in season 3 when Mercedes was throwing up? So then Bert and Carol come in and they're like, no, it's win, like clean the floor with those guys. Finn is really proud of you, and as I was leaving, I could hear him saying, like, Mom, this is nationals. You gotta be there. And it was a really sweet moment. I mean, just Bert and Carol are so good.
So cute.
Yeah. And so they do a big show circle. And they go out and they start with More Than a Feeling.
So good.
So good. Tina, I mean, she did get that ABC solo, but this is one of her first like big, I guess she had Gangnam Style, but
no, we're erasing that from history.
It was so good. Like she's so good, give her the spotlight, Like she's a senior too, so I was so glad that she got to do that, and her voice went really well with Blaine's.
Yeah, that note out. I was like, come on, Jenna.
That's what sucks is that like clearly Jenna Ushquist has like great range and power. And it's so dumb that like the way the story is set up that Rachel got everything, that like Tina was super sidelined. It just makes sense, but it also makes no sense at the same time.
And it makes me think of how different, because season 4 they're really trying to make it the Marley show, and how if they had just been like, we're going to messy bitch Tina, I think it would have been more interesting. I think Tina could have been a more interesting protagonist than Rachel, even because she is a little less driven. She's a little messier. I mean, Rachel's a fucking mess, but like messy in a fun way. She's a teenager. She explores. She tries. So it was great. Like her and Blaine's voices went really well together. And there was this song where it's like he was like singing about, or like a line where he's like singing about a girl I used to know, and she like kind of like looks back and smiles and he's like singing at her, and it was like this really cute interaction.
It was a cute little moment, and then I thought to myself, you think Darren and Jenna kissed at least once? At least once.
Oh yeah, I think they did.
Why he looking at her like that? Is he acting or what's up?
I know I've heard that she's made out with Kevin McHale, who is gay, so I'm sure she's kissed Darren.
They had to, just a little kiss for funsies.
For funsies.
But yeah, it was really good. And then they start singing America. And I would like to point out the only Glee Club members other than 3 unnamed Cheerios who don't get any solos this nationals are Marley and Ryder.
You didn't necessarily get one. She had like her Mercedes moments where,
right.
Yeah.
The line and vocal run and stuff.
But so like she got a moment to like kind of stand out though, where you're like, that's Unique's voice.
Yeah, Ryder and Marley.
Jake didn't get anything, did he?
He had a little, like, he was like dipping someone who was saying something.
Oh, okay.
And then Kitty did something with Sam, and then she had her own little solo.
I swear that Kitty and Sam interaction was the only one you ever see.
Yeah.
It was weird. I was like, I know they've been in the same room, but this is strange. They're next to each other.
Yeah. And I'm like, again, Will, if I was running that club, I'd be like, Kitty, you can be part of the club, but because of your excessive racism and giving Marley an eating disorder, you don't get any solo.
Yeah, that's a better way to handle the situation.
Well, you guys know about that deleted scene from season 4, right? Where she's apologizing to Marley.
Well, she apologizes during the Shooting Star episode.
No, it's a deleted scene right after I think like after Thanksgiving or something.
I think it's like Swan Song.
Yeah. So right after Thanksgiving. So yeah, it's a deleted scene. It's on YouTube where she actually does apologize to Marley, and she says, how she wants to do better. I don't know why they didn't keep it in.
Interesting.
I feel like
it feels like
that would be pivotal.
Yeah. Why didn't they put that in the show? Why is
because
that something
that kind of makes sense for why she starts to become like a nicer person.
They didn't show it. They didn't show her redemption arc at the beginning of it, and it was also a scene with Will and Finn, and Will's like encouraging Finn, saying how it wasn't his fault that they lost sectionals. Yeah,
but Marley doesn't get any of that.
Ryan Murphy hates character
I have
development.
questions about the direction in the editing of this show.
They're like, if we put this character development in, when can we put Finn kissing Emma? Because that's what everyone watching Glee wants.
Yeah. Unnecessary drama that makes no sense.
So they sang America, and then they sang Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For from Sing 2.
Sing 2.
That movie come out already?
Yes.
Christmas.
I missed it.
I didn't
watch
see
it. And I love the first one.
I loved the first one.
I liked the first one was cute, but it was not a movie I was like, yeah, this needs a sequel.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm burnt out on sequels.
But
nowadays.
Yeah. So Sam sings. I think Sam takes the lead. It's a bit of everyone. And then it's the seniors. It's like Sam, Artie, Tina, and Blaine. Like everyone else is singing with their backs turned. And it's like this senior spot.
That's what really gets me want to start crying.
Yeah. Well, I want to say in the first few bars or something, we see Bert and Carol's like, this is Finn's favorite song. They're singing all of his favorite songs.
Yes.
And then it starts up this back and forth of the performance and then flashbacks to Finn, and it's really emotional.
Yes.
I cried like 3 tears.
That's
many.
A lot.
Yeah, I know.
That's many for Alyssa. I definitely got emotional. I was like, I wasn't expecting this in this episode, but I think it was like a good surprise, like because it kind of felt like it's hard to kind of keep that emotional sentiment going for the story to make sure it also moves forward. But I think they did this in a decent way.
Yeah, like we see like Finn and Sam hugging and the Don't Stop number. We see when Finn rescues Artie when they're gonna put him in the porta potty. And like we see
Finn cry hugs to Will. I don't remember what moment.
I think that was when Quinn was pregnant.
Yeah. It was really long ago.
It was a lot of season
him and Rachel were gonna get
moments, wasn't it?
Yeah, when him and Rachel were gonna get married, season 3, and then we have him singing in the showers.
And then they had a scene from the tongue tied.
Yeah. So it was good. Yeah, it was this really powerful moment, and it also focused on the seniors. And I do think because it's a smaller senior class than last nationals, you can really spotlight them. Though I do think Paradise by the Dashboard Lights did really spotlight like all the seniors. That was one of their numbers that did really spotlight everyone. But it was this nice moment, and then afterwards they're all happy, and then Sam is off and he's like, I did my best.
Well, first, how does the number ends? Sam holds up drumsticks.
Yep.
Which was a surprising choice, I guess.
That only few people in the audience will understand. I love it, but
it's kind of
y'all.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because like I'm thinking about, okay, well, some people in this world clearly know what happened, that like Finn had passed away and he was like the previous like assistant coach or whatever. But yeah, like the drumsticks thing, I was like, yeah, that's nice, but I don't know if everyone would understand.
Or they haven't seen him drum, they've only seen him sing and perform.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was a nice moment.
Mhm.
And then so everyone's like celebrating, and then Sam is like off, kind of like crying. He's like, I did my best, Mr. Shu. Mr. Shu's like, you did great.
Yeah.
And then
Pressure on him.
yeah, why did you
seriously.
randomly throw pressure on this boy?
Like that's literally what that scene is. It's like Will
Will
trying to be like, I'm sorry, I guess. Not really. I'm not saying sorry. I'm just gonna hug you.
And then it's time for the trophies. And
doing it not in the order that it would be done in real life.
and they come in second.
Which I think makes sense, kind of. I do think that the New Directions choreo was kind of tired.
You get it.
It's the same kind of stuff of just
They were just walking around the stage. There was
Yeah.
nothing
Singing to
impressive.
each other, not enough interacting with the audience, really.
Yeah.
No. You got 3 Cheerios and y'all not dancing. You got Jake. Y'all not dancing. Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
like it's so tired. And I guess it makes sense that Throat Explosion wins because they had kind of both. Both were really solid, I think.
Yeah.
I'd like to state, well, some would call a fact. America's a big country. The United States of America is very large.
In population and in physical size.
In physical size, and probably the number of high schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to think about that as we go on.
Oh yeah,
They
because
changed
they're
it
the best of. They're the second best of the best.
at the beginning in the first nationals. It was 50 top 50 show choirs. Then they narrowed it down to 10. Same thing with the next year. This year, 2013, they did like top 14.
Yeah, that was strange.
They're like, we don't have time to hear 50 clubs sing. They're like, if you're
LA
gonna
is
pull
like,
out,
we have places to be.
we don't want to hear some original songs you wrote last night, okay?
Yeah.
So then they're back in McKinley. And Artie's like, oh, second place is just like reminder that you lost, and because they're bringing this
What a
Northwest
way to
trophy.
think about second place.
Yeah, really.
And then Bert and Carol come in and they're like, yeah, we wanted to win it for you. We wanted to bring you up on stage, and like celebrate. And they're like, you think this is about us? You think this is about what Finn would have wanted? He's like, yeah, he would have been complaining to us about how you were robbed, for weeks. But, like, that's not what it's about. Like you like performed really hard. You came in second place. He cared about you guys, and what you guys did. And I thought that was really sweet. It was a really sweet moment. Again, Bert and Carol.
Let them coach this club. They may not know anything about music.
And again, neither do Will.
Yeah. We all saw that gold digger. He does not know anything about music.
I feel like during his speech to the kids, he's talking about we don't have a big budget. You had a budget, then you spend it all on weekly performances, William.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Katie or Gaga week.
Mm-hmm.
Unnecessary waste of money.
Yeah. So then they're like, okay, this is fine. And then Becky comes in as like, Schuster, you're wanted. And then she's like, dead man walking. And then he sings Dead Girl Walking from Heathers.
They did
They did not.
What is it called? Where they do the drums before you get hung.
Yeah.
is that called?
The gallows march. Something like
Maybe.
that?
I think there's like an actual like very specific drum name for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. But this is basically him going to sue because she's basically going to be like, well, you didn't win. And that's what I instantly remember is like, oh, that's what the stakes of this competition was supposed to be. That if they didn't win, they were going to be cut. And like Sue is the principal, she has the power to do that. So like they should have
like really, really antsy about it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they got really complacent. They're like, oh, whatever. but
this
like
is the first time we hear of it all season.
I think they've
Honestly-
thrown it out a couple
honestly,
times. But
What happens when you?
I don't know if it's this season. Well, when did she become
school year?
when did she become principal?
This
Was it end
season.
of was it this season or was it end of
yeah,
last
because
season?
last season she
It was
was
after
remember she
she-
was out
yeah.
because Becky brought a gun and she took the fall for it.
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
last
So
season.
honestly, I think it has been since like the beginning when she became president or principal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's been a while.
So then, Coach Roz Washington, she's back. She won nationals.
And then she's
Um,
going to San Tropez.
yeah.
Where there
Uh,
are no phones. And I was like, I had this split second moment of like, oh my God, it's a horror movie. Where she's just like on a vacation in this tropical place, but there are no phones.
she's going to be murdered during a cover of Taylor Swift's The Man, where they're saying, I'll be just like Leo in San Tropez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Emilee, for getting that.
no problem. Swifty for life.
So okay, I just want to we'll talk about the scene and then so Will comes in and she's like, I bet you're hoping for a last minute reprieve. He's like, yeah, can I beg about the performance of the arts, whatever? And then Sue is like, the women's soccer team, the football team, the debate team, the Cheerios and
Decathlon and academic decathlon.
The ones that were cut.
Oh, those are the
And,
cut ones.
So the debate team won. Yeah, the debate team won.
Okay.
They're staying. All these other programs are cut because they're not winning.
Chili Betches-
UN. That's the one I remember.
Yeah, the one that stays, right?
Mhm.
Mock UN stayed? I thought Mock UN was
Yeah.
cut.
They stayed. Go ahead, Mock UN. Good for you.
Yeah. Representing
What
I
kind of
don't
club
know
is
how
that?
Mock UN works.
Do they just like play Risk or something?
No,
You
it's
have
like a
to
thing.
Model UN.
What is it? How do you do
It's-
that?
So from what I've watched on Parks and Rec, okay, students get together and like I guess they group up and they represent different countries and they use their knowledge of those countries and international politics and all these things they learn as being part of this club and they compete to be the best country.
No, it's
That's
like-
the part I don't
I
understand.
think you're given international crises and you
yeah,
have
like
to
a
solve them.
scenario.
They're gonna
Yeah.
have a lot more.
Did they do that on Community?
Yeah, they do that on
Yeah, yeah.
Community.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
remember
Never have
from
I
Parks
ever.
and Rec, like Andy's like, I want all of the tigers or something like that. And I was like, that's not how this works. But
And
okay.
Andy and April Ludgate is the moon.
Yeah. And they're like, that's not a thing. She's like, I'm the moon.
But like, yeah, it's like debate but D&D.
Listen, that sounds pretty fun actually. I wish my high school had a Mock UN.
Yeah, so like, there's a logic here. There is a logic. She's like, you just didn't win, you didn't lose, William. The game's just over.
Yeah.
And like, so there is a logic here. That does not mean it is logical.
Yeah.
Right.
Because basically they're only keeping winning programs, but also TBH, like sports is a completely different thing because of Title IX. You
Yeah.
have to have a certain number of women's sports to men's sports.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
this is not the real world. This is the Glee universe, Anna. Remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But anyway,
But no, I was gonna say that it's like because of Title IX laws, because of what the parents lobby for, like because of what you
boosters,
might
like boosters
donors,
clubs.
yeah.
Getting rid of academic decathlon sounds something lethal. I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Dang.
Yeah, and she's like, you lost, but I'm like, second place in the fucking country.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's not losing. I'm
No.
sorry. I know you didn't win. I'm
Getting
sorry,
to nationals.
boomers of the world who hate participation trophies, anything that's not winning. I'm sorry, Donald Trump, but like second
No.
place is an achievement.
This is only their third opportunity to win. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And they had a whole set of new people they had to train.
yeah,
Like-
who had never been in a show choir before.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. This is giving the energy of that Trump tweet where he's like 9/11 even to the haters and losers or whatever, you know, like just like a complete misunderstanding of like the concept of winning, what it means, especially in connection to high schoolers, high school activities, what the purpose of those are. Because I'm sorry, America, but sports are a game. They're just a game. They have lots of great things that they teach you as a child. I think high school sports are more useful to society than like professional sports, but like they are a game, and like this is just singing. Like you don't get anything for winning. Like no. It's not like you're gonna get these kids scholarships. Like
because like it doesn't bring the school more money necessarily. Like unless honestly they get it from like local donors or alumni donations and stuff like that.
But like as a community theater kid, like our productions were lots of times funded by local restaurants and stuff. You know, and they're still going to donate to a high school glee club, whether they won nationals or not. Yeah, you might get a few more donors if you're a winning club, but it's just going to be by people who like that kid learn music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, like it just
they want to go to a free concert or super discounted concert.
For like only like 2 parents in all of Lima, Ohio to support the arts. Like really?
Yeah. No, like my school, super small town. We had a fantastic band boosters program. Like there were tons of parents in that program, and it was a small band, like small marching band. So
yeah, my high school choir program, we had a lot of boosters, and they were really active, really helpful. And like the local restaurants around the school were really helpful. So it's like, I don't know, it's Glee for you, I guess.
There are 2 people who care.
Yeah, it's just like also the idea that this town in rural Ohio would have multiple national championships
or placements, just placements.
They place. They
like
place.
Honestly,
like if this was the UK, I might buy it. But this is the United States. Like if
we're enormous.
If you had to just win sectionals, I'd get it. Like, hey, just show you can compete. Show you can beat the other local schools.
Yeah.
But nationals?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any. So I'm like, I know they're trying to be like more mature. This isn't crazy Sue. This is serious Sue. This is real Sue.
Which actually, there was one line that she said that I was like, wait,
she
wait a
likes
second.
him.
Yes,
like I like you, Will. That's why I'm so mean to you. I'm like, let's not normalize that behavior.
No.
But whoa, she actually likes him. Okay,
that's more than I could say.
Will. That's why I'm so mean to you. Every time I'm mean to you, Cullen, just know that I like you.
Okay.
Can we go back to Throat Explosion real quick? I feel like, first of all, their choir is small. It's
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like their stakes weren't as high. Like I feel like Vocal Adrenaline is better than them.
Vocal Adrenaline was the best threat they've ever had. Yeah.
And so for them to be like, oh, they're all like acrobats and contortionists and stuff, it's like I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
They didn't do any of that.
They did not.
No.
I was expecting it because they had a conversation about it.
And they had like that weird, like, was it the Katie Gaga week where they had the quick flash to them and they were all wearing like masks, and it was so weird.
They didn't really give them enough introduction, I think. Maybe if they talked about them back in season 4, we would have really been like, oh yeah, Throat Explosion. Oh no, they got competition. They didn't.
Yeah, no.
We're literally like neck and neck for who was gonna win first place for national.
But see, Vocal Adrenaline was they were doing the drugs, right? That
was the Warblers.
Oh, where did Vocal Adrenaline go?
Disappeared off the face of the earth.
They went into, so instead of doing the sectionals with McKinley, they went to a different sectionals. It's like they went to like a different league, or however you would explain that. But then after that, who knows where they went?
That's interesting. And maybe they should have been like Throat Explosion is the group that like kicked out Adrenaline.
Oh, that would have
hyped them up way more.
It would have made more sense because we understand how good Vocal Adrenaline is. And if there's a group that beat them, it's like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe a third explosion was like second runner up or whatever last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That like they're a growing up and coming club or something.
Yeah.
With the worst fucking name.
Yes.
Throat explosion.
Yeah. Vocal Adrenaline at least has like a good name that like matches them as a club.
Yeah, it just gets more and more sexual as they go.
And
getting more names. Yes.
Intensity. You know, I also hate the name The New Directions.
Nude erections.
Because it really makes no sense.
First one he came up with.
Well, yeah, this is
the first one he came up with. Just like
first episode will, you know.
This reminds me of, I heard, I don't know what it was. I think it was a TikTok. Some graphic designer was like, you need to do the swastika dick like test and make sure that whatever design you come up with, whenever you mirror it or turn it upside down or like backwards, it never looks like a dick or a swastika. Because if it does, you have to start from square one. This is how I feel like New Directions came up with their name, and like they didn't do that test.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also strange that like the kids didn't even get to pick their own group name. Like some 35-year-old man picked it for them.
It's also funny that the bullies never made fun of the name.
Yeah.
They called it Geek Club, but that was it.
Yeah, like they literally will pronounce New Directions in such a way during competitions, like when they get announced as nude erections. Like that's such like a simple, easy joke, such low-hanging fruit for the hockey players and the football players. Not that we're condoning bullying, but like
your material's right there in front of you.
Yeah, like
isn't the name typically the high school name anyway?
Yeah, wouldn't you be like the Titans then? I think it's the McKinley Titans.
Well, I don't know.
Depends.
The Whiff and Puffs, like that's not the actual name of the school.
True. Yeah.
Are they from Yale?
Like
Yale, I think.
Like I was in like
some
a
Ivy League
varsity voices, so it didn't really like pertain to the school.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Glee Club is over, and so then we go back.
And that's the end of the series, right?
They go back.
It's the end of the season.
Go back to New York, and we see Kurt. They called Kurt first. I guess Blaine called him. He's like, "The New Directions are over," or he's like, "I have news." And Santa's like, "Wait, you're performing at a subway station with your band?" And Rachel's like, "Oh, so you can steal his dream too?" And he's like, "Glee Club is over."
I didn't really have a reaction.
Yeah, it just kind of ends. I was like,
so dramatic.
Does
like
this
abrupt.
mean they're gonna do something about it, or does this mean they're like happy? I don't know.
Speaking of
this
happy,
doesn't really affect us, but oh my gosh.
I'm trying to imagine like someone from my high school calling me and telling me that one of my high school clubs is over while I'm in college or like graduated. I'd be like, okay.
I mean, I guess if like you were in that club, so like I don't think I would be like devastated, but I would be kind of like nostalgic, I guess. Like if I found out that like my school got rid of choir, which honestly they may have because we didn't have a big choir. But like
I don't think they did.
I would be kind of like, "Oh, that sucks," but I wouldn't. What I'm assuming they're probably going to be like, "We have to go restart it." I'm not going back to Ohio to do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because like as a homeschooler, you know, like a lot of programs were just run by individual like willpower. So when I graduated, it's like, we'll see if someone else does a musical. It was like the yearbook, which had been going for years. Like my mom ran that. She was like, my last kid graduated. It's done.
I'm done.
So like things did end when I graduated. I guess it was just so important. But like, I don't know. So I guess it's different for me. But I think about like nothing was actively like, we're gonna hunt down the yearbook and end it, you know?
Yeah. That'd be funny though. was like an outside, like someone who didn't get invited to your homeschool group. They weren't in the yearbook. They're like, I'm going to destroy the homeschool yearbook.
Oh my gosh. But like there was a lot of yearbook drama. One of my top personal enemies is someone who tried to attack my mother for running the yearbook.
Like that's still your enemy?
Yeah, she's still in my top 3. Like you mess with me, like whatever.
You
but
have
like
a list?
you mess with my mom or my sister or something, like
Cullen has a list of enemies.
yeah, I know.
See,
Everyone
if
would
either
think
of you two had a list of enemies, I would assume it'd be Alyssa.
Didn't we talk about this one
we
time?
have. I think it's
Have we?
because
How did you remember that and I did?
No, I specifically remember this because I was like, yeah, anyone who I don't consider anyone my enemy, but other people might consider me their enemy.
I remember this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like when you generally like I generally like everyone, like when you're one of the few people I know I do not like you've done something
Yeah,
to get there.
Honestly, anyone who is on Cullen's like doesn't like list, you're probably a bad person. So if I ever encounter you,
she's gonna go all Emma Heights adjacent on your asses.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so any general thoughts on the episode before we kind of get to like our closing sections, like about the songs and the characters? Like, did I miss something or?
It's low-key boring. The sentiments I like the tribute, obviously, but it was a boring episode. There wasn't like any major drama really, because they didn't make the stakes high enough for like the reactions to the stakes high enough for Glee Club ending if they don't win.
Yeah,
I agree with you. It was. I mean, the fact that I didn't even know it was nationals until like the first number, and then I was like, they're in LA, this is nationals, wait, what? They did not hype up the episode at all. There was no rising action in the series for it. It was just it didn't, there was no hard-hitting drama there.
Where was Tina's body switching fantasy to build up nationals?
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, where she body switches with Sam.
Oh boy.
What's it like to
That's
be just
the
chosen
one.
What's
as
it
the
like
leader because you're a straight white
seconds
male?
before we perform?
Yeah, I think I do agree, but I just feel like some of the acting was really good. Like I feel like the seniors were bringing it. I feel like Kitty was actually really funny, mainly just for the only you read the show choir blogs.
Yeah.
And then we have Bert and Carol. Like I did feel like the actors were acting their asses off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that leads us to our MVPs and LVPs.
Tina time.
Cullen, you committed a cardinal sin. You forgot Tina time. Wow. Well, I mean, that just goes to show.
We might be coming up on episodes where we can't even have Tina time.
Oh no.
Yeah,
She's not gonna be there.
But our Tina time is gonna be like, she wasn't fucking here.
Yeah.
it's just gonna be a moment of silence.
Which is crazy because to think about it, like it's been so many episodes and we've always been able to have Tina time, even if it's like one
She's
line.
been in there
or 0 lines.
And now she's not here.
Like we've even been able to do Tina time where it's just like she was in the background, but she didn't say a fucking word.
She's been there since day one. Why isn't she
now
the leader?
nothing?
Wow. Wow. Okay. Tina time.
I counted 4 lines, but I also stopped counting at one point, so I don't know if she had any after that.
She had 10.
Okay.
She had a couple after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now MVPs and LVPs. Lauren, who is your least valuable player? Your least favorite character?
I chose Will, all because he put that pressure on Sam like that.
Classic.
Yeah, that man does nothing. No work. Emilee, who's your least valuable player?
I'm switching it up. I'm going to say whatever loser on Third Explosion took the flag.
That's
Yes.
mine. I was like, that's just like a shitty thing to do. Also, I don't think we mentioned, but like Jean Baptiste sent it back and apparently like sincerely apologized, which I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. I think
And
Blaine
kicked the
says
person who stole it off the team.
yes.
Hmm.
Because that's just not good sports personship. Or show choir personship. That doesn't really go well. But anyway, but yeah, also like Blaine says, like, wow, a bully who has a heart or something like that. But yeah, I also picked
wouldn't
that
call him a
person.
bully though. Like he was.
He
I know
was,
my worth. I know I'm more talented than you. Step your game up.
yeah, like
Yeah.
they didn't like Hunter Clarrington was a bully.
Yeah, Bunko Adrenaline
Mhm.
were bullies. That's why I said they weren't there. They
Yeah.
tried, but it wasn't there.
Yeah,
Joe
he was just
Explosion was-
arrogant.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
was arrogant. It feels like it felt very high school, you know, like you're in a competition with this other group, you're gonna, you know,
That's how
bicker.
Yeah.
back in choir competitions where a group where you check the program, the group is singing the same song as you. And you're like,
Oh.
Did someone leak our set list? You know, or you're like debate rivals and you end up on Cullen's enemy list.
Wow.
You know. Yeah, so it was yours Hannah, the guy who stole the plaque.
Exactly. Yeah.
Allyssa.
Okay, I'm also gonna go with the guy that stole the plaque. Because that's literally in all the drama of this episode, I feel like that was the lowest blow, even though he doesn't have a name or a face.
And it doesn't impact anybody though. That's like what sucks is like it
Yeah.
could have been really good. Like it could have been a thing
Mhm.
that threw them off their game. And like we could have been like, oh shit, like are they gonna be able to do this? Because they're really sad
Yeah.
about this plaque.
It's almost like I'm choosing this person because of the potential that they had to be the worst person,
Yeah.
even though they're not quite, but the potential is there.
Yeah.
I'm going with sometimes the MVP or LVP isn't the worst person. It's who contributes the least. I'm going with Kurt Rachel Santana. They contributed nothing this episode, and their absence made it better. I was like, I realized how little of a shit I gave about any of these characters that I used to really love. I mean, I don't know if I ever really, really loved Rachel, but like I like kind of rooted for her and was like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you were rooting for her at a point where we're like, Cullen, why are you still rooting for her?
Yeah, I was the last holdout for Rachel. But like, I'm like, these characters, yeah, like, I don't, if we're gonna, they needed to pick. They need to pick New York or McKinley. And I think they should have picked McKinley. And like, because especially if their journeys as adults would just be them retreading the same drama as they did in high school.
That's
and like
Mm-hmm.
not growing at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Lauren, who's your MVP?
I picked Sam because he was forced to step into that role, even though I don't think he really wanted to. So shout out to
Yeah.
The white man's burden.
One of
Emma, who's your MVP?
Our unsung hero, Miss Tina Cohen Chang.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why, because she rocked the solos. She's finally getting her recognition. It made me tear up a little bit when More Than a Feeling started. I'm not gonna lie. I love that woman more than anything.
Tony
Yeah.
Award winner Jen Ushkowitz of the Swish Fish music video.
Yes. She, yeah, honestly, like as an actress, she just deserves better. But you know, she did her best.
Baby, I want her to see more of her.
She does her best in this show, and you know what? It's key. That's like high professionalism. Proud of her. My MVP, I chose Bert and Carol because I love them, and honestly, at this point, I would prefer a show about them. So,
Cute middle-aged couple deals with grief and loss.
Yeah.
together.
Like some type of like Mike and Molly stuff, or like, yeah.
My MVP, I'm gonna go with Mercedes because we get to see her her journey from a parking lot in LA, which is not a fun place to be.
No.
Not a fun place to be, to like in a room with CEOs of Sony Music, probably not CEOs, but you know, people who work there and
People Kanye knows.
contract people, I don't know, whatever. And she also gives pretty good advice to Marley, like good on her. She was a good friend, even though they're not really friends because they didn't go to school together at the same time.
Yeah.
A good mentor.
Yeah.
Mercedes, yeah, she works for everything she gets, you know, and it's like rewarded. It's like nice to see her rewarded.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see someone get a reward who like clearly deserves it. Like,
yeah,
she's put in work.
Yeah. And Hell to the No was a bop.
Hell to the no. What's funny is like that's one of the only of those like random originals that I remember the melody to. Like I only remember that Trouty Mouth. I remember like Trouty Mouth exists, but I don't think I could sing it.
Yeah, all the microaggressions aside, the lyrics is still a bop.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there that's like, oh, but you know, I like to think that in the single she changed the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, Tina Cohen Chang. She's my MVP. I love Burton Carroll, but she was so funny. Like her facial work, amazing.
Face journey.
Her face journeys, her glurnies, amazing. And like, yeah, it was so good to see her like sing the lead in the solo, and like it made way more sense than just having Rachel sing "It's All Coming Back to Me Now" with people standing in the background. Like she's doing a duet. There's like kinetic energy, and like it just makes me think of how much they've been sleeping on this talent. Like Will should have been kicking himself. Like, I can't believe I didn't let Tina like have more standout moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I love Quinn's voice, but I think Quinn probably has more standout moments and performances than Tina.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like Tina does have a better voice. Yeah, it's just a shame. It's a shame. He's terrible at running clubs and being a person and wearing vests. So let's talk about music. We have I Love LA. We have by no one who I care to mention. We have Belinda Carlisle's Vacation. We have Mr. Roboto / Counting Stars. We have More Than a Feeling. We have America. We have Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. And that's it, right? That's everything?
Yep.
Yeah. So Lauren, what was your least favorite song?
I chose I Love LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. I don't really have explanation. I liked Vacation vocals better.
Oh yeah. Emilee, what was your least favorite?
I picked Vacation
Wow.
because we're always opposite.
I picked the I Love LA song. It was a snooze fest.
I also picked I Love LA.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a Simlish. She's bilingual.
Yes.
Yes. I don't love LA. I'll just
And you don't
end it
like
there.
that song.
Correct.
You know, as someone who actually does kind of love LA, I don't like that song because that song feels like it was written by someone who's like, New York gets all the good songs. I'm gonna write an LA song.
That's really how it starts. Just like, what do you mean people just like monkeys? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
That's what my boyfriend said. He's like, because that was the only thing that he turned around and was like, what? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Lauren, what was your favorite song?
I chose Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. It
Yes.
really hits.
Emilee?
I chose More Than a Feeling.
Yeah, I picked More Than a Feeling too. I think like there's some really good like sentiment with the U2 song, but I hate U2. So
Yeah, I think they're still somehow on my iPhone. I don't
Which
know.
U2 song? Which song is the U2 song?
Still haven't found one.
Still haven't
Still,
found my
yeah.
favorite, babe.
yeah, and yeah, I didn't like U2 before U2 forced one of their albums onto everyone who has iTunes. Because also I think it's still on my iPhone too. I don't know how to get rid of it.
I think I heard about that.
I'm gonna go with the Thread Explosion combo. Counting Stars and what was the first
Mr.
one?
Roboto.
Mr. Roboto. It's just so weird. And I had a good time watching it.
Yeah, it's
And
fun.
like I sang along, so I had a fun time.
He should have matched up Mr. Roboto with that like Hello Kitty Avril Lavigne song. Or because both of them have like weird Japanese phrases.
I don't think
Arigato, kawaii. You know that one?
I don't think I've listened to it. I know it exists, but I was like, this is not my Avril Lavigne. Like,
Yeah, don't.
She went punk again recently. She has a new album that's like punk.
Yes.
I'm kind of agreeing with the people thinking she a clone.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't normally bandwagon on those things, but I was like, yeah, but she did have that weird, like, racist into Japanese music phase, like, or into Japanese culture. I'll put that in quotes.
Yeah, I mean, I do love Keep Your Head Above Water. I do like that album about her fight with Lyme disease. Yeah. I'm going with More Than a Feeling. Like I like their whole set, like their whole performance. But More Than a Feeling just had good energy, and like seeing these two characters who have, you know, been through a lot of shit together that hasn't been resolved. I guess kind of just be like, hey, you know, we're friends. We're gonna graduate on a good note together.
When I hear More Than a Feeling, I think about Zookeeper, the ending credits. Have you guys seen that movie with Kevin James? And like
I've seen We Bought a Zoo,
big
but I
name
don't think I've
actors.
seen.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
Zookeeper.
think I was thinking of that one. No, I haven't seen Zookeeper. Is that one in that?
Yeah, it's the ending credit song, and that's what I think about. So it doesn't have the same emotional impact.
Right. You're
Just
listening to that, you're like,
sing
oh,
the
this
song.
is supposed to be emotional. All I'm thinking about is the Paul Blart actor.
It's a good movie though. Pretty funny. The voice acting is was really fun.
Yeah, so that's like brings us to the end of City of Angels and what feels like the end of season 5, but definitely isn't.
So annoying.
They should have. It would have made sense to start out season 6 in New York.
Whatever, Glee.
Glee, it's just so lost at this point. And yet they don't sing Lost in the Wilderness from Children of Eden. Missed opportunity. So Emilee and Lauren, where can people find your podcast, your Glee fix? Where can people find that?
You're gonna make me do it.
Yeah.
Okay. You can find our podcast everywhere. It's Gleek Please with Emilee and Lauren. You can find my fix on both AO3 and Wattpad at St. Barry Lane.
Are you a St. Barry shipper? Because we do love Jonathan Groff here.
I am. I feel like they really fit each other.
I agree with that.
I miss Jesse.
Same.
So much.
Yep.
Are you guys just at Gleek Please on social media?
We're at Gleek Please Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. We're at Gleek Please Pod on TikTok. And I'm sorry, Twitter. And you can check out my Wattpad at Don't Touch My Air, HEIR. You can follow Emilee's personal Instagram at It's Emilee Dick. Emilee spelled with Emilee. And then you can follow my personal at Laurengitis, LXURENGITIS. And that's
Great. Nice.
That's a nice play on the Glee episode Laryngitis, where Rachel doesn't have laryngitis.
Oh, Cullen, why would you bring that up? I always say that to Lyle because he'll bring something up and I'm like, why would you bring that up to me? Why would you tell me about this? Like a lot of Reddit videos.
It needs to be done.
It does not need to be done. If I say I don't want to see it, I don't want to see it. Anyway, you can follow Gleeboot on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We are at Gleeboot Pod. You can also find us on Tumblr, gleebootpod.tumblr.com.
You can follow me on Instagram at a.m.swearingen. That's pronounced Swearingen. I don't know if I've ever said that.
Well, you know what? Now's as good a time as any.
Yep.
You can follow me at Cullen Ever After on Instagram. And I've considered doing more TikToks and Twitter, but we'll see. Yay. Tune in next week for a crossover with Glee on the Rocks. To talk about the 100th episode where they celebrate being on by recycling their songs. Including songs the Glee Club didn't sing, but the Warblers did.
Fascinating.
All
right, that's next week.
Next week, I think we get to see Goop.
Whoa, she's
yeah.
back?
Oh, is it for this episode or is it the episode after? I'm
not sure. I know Kristen Chenoweth is back.
They blend together. Yeah. I swear. I'm like, wait, which episode was the song in? I don't remember.
She comes in at the very end of 102.
Yeah. Okay.
God, I hate
that. They will be. They will be back. What was Kristen Chenoweth's name? April Rhodes.
And I probably slept with you, as the song goes. All right. Gleek, please. Emilee and Lauren, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
No problem, dog.
Yeah.
If you ever need us to go back and rewatch an episode of Glee back in those early days, let us know. And we will come and give commentary.
Takes for days.
Will do.
All right, till next week, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye.